what's up? Monday at 6 here, back with the 2004 Ford Sport Trac, and today we're going to be installing these body mount bushings, polyurethane replacements for the ones underneath that are completely dry rot. Very common problem for these Sport Tracs, and today we're just going to get into it. We're going to be replacing them. Now, if you're wondering about the little scale Sport Trac there, just put the Monday to 6 touch on it. Pretty much a smaller scale. What we got. If you want to see what it looks like stock, this is pretty much how they come. So just a little side-by-side comparison there. Pretty cool if you want to customize and just make a little replica of your Sport Trac. This kit includes all the polyurethane, red polyurethane body mount bushings. It'll just be a direct replacement for the factory OEM ones that dry rot over time. If you want to know where to purchase this, there will be a link in the description. Safety first. E-brake action going. There we go. If you've been hearing some really weird squeaky sounds, it may not be any of your suspension components, it might actually be your body mounts. So we're going to get under here and look, and I'm going to show you the typical dry rot from the factory body mounts. It's right underneath the driver floorboard here. Here's one of the factory body mounts, and as you can tell, it's not dirt. That is a body mount bushing. It's just deteriorated, gone. Look at that. There's nothing. There's nothing there. So we're going to be putting some PB Blaster on here. I've already let some soak on it last night. Going to put some more. And heard we got to get some vice grips right here to hold this while we put an impact on top. And hopefully we can break these free and replace them with the polyurethane bushings. There's also on top as well. This bushing is just going. Virtually crumbling. Just nothing there. And look at this. All over the ground. That is your factory body bushing. So these will be the 4 body mount bushings. You have one up here by the front of the vehicle. See, this one seems to be intact. It's probably made out of a different compound, so it probably didn't dry rot like the rest. Okay, now we're going to come over here underneath the driver floorboard. This is underneath your feet on the driver's side. As you can see, it is dry rot and it is almost completely gone. There's no body mount there. This one will be right where the door jamb is, right where the B pillar is, almost directly below it. As you can see on this one as well, there is no bushing. It is completely gone. And this will be by the very back of the cab. And as you can see, that body mount is completely intact. Like I said, probably made out of a different rubber compound. Has lasted through the years. Okay, here we're at the driver's side. Going to be removing some of the kick panel stuff and some of the rubberized flooring and the front seat if necessary. Went ahead and pulled back the rubberized flooring, and we have access to the first top of our body mount. As you can see, this is really dirty in here. Be a good opportunity to clean some of this stuff out while you're in there. Just remove this cap, and that should give us access to the top of the bolt to the body mount. Plastic cap removed over here by the driver floorboard, and that gives us access to the top of the bolt. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath. We already sprayed it with PB Blaster, and I believe we're going to have to heat it up. So I got a little propane torch. We're going to have to heat that nut on the bottom pretty good. I'm going to put a vice grip on it, and on the top here, I'm going to try a big wrench with a breaker bar and a socket on here and see if we can break that free. Alright, I was able to put my ratchet on here, and I was able to break the bolt free, so it is moving. But I think it's spinning on the bottom. I can hear it. So I believe we'll go put the vice grip on the bottom to stop it from spinning. Okay, we got the vice grip attached to the bottom right here. Should stop it from spinning. I'm going to go ahead and get my torch and I'm going to heat this bolt up right here. Hopefully we can come out of that nut pretty easy. Get that nice and hot, kind of move it around. Just keep watching that e-brake cable there, make sure you don't melt it. So just keep that heat on that bolt there. This should help to break it free. So keep applying the heat there. That's a lot of that PB blaster. Kind of see some smoke coming off, kind of heating that up. Yeah, we'll just keep some heat on it here for about a minute. As you can see, it's smoking pretty good there. A lot of the old bushing, some of the rubber kind of catches on fire, gets hot a little bit. Just make sure that doesn't drop on you. It's pretty hot, but just heat that up pretty good. And okay, I'll try to do this one hand. There's no way that it's that easy. Yes way. Well, this has been a Florida truck its whole life, so it's never seen really any salt or any of that, you know, up north weather. So maybe this broke free pretty easy here. That's good news. But I would say probably just the key is heating that up. Plenty of PB blaster on that. All right, looks like we got the bolt all the way out here, a little hot. That thing's toasty. You can see there's a lot of factory blue Loctite on it. That's going to keep the you know, hardware from vibrating loose over hundreds of thousands of miles. You can see it's still smoking out the hole there. But yeah, that came out no problem. The bolt's still intact. We should be able to reuse the hardware. Just replace the bushings. Okay, once we get this removed up top, we're going to take the factory bolt and we're going to go thread it into the bottom. After that, we're going to take a punch and we're going to separate the two metal pieces that screw together for the body mount. Right, I'm going to take that top bolt and I'm going to put it here in the bottom and I'm going to thread it all the way up. Once you get the bolt screwed in from the bottom side, take this bolt up top, thread it through the bottom side. What you're going to do is grab a punch, extension, and just hit on that bolt. It's going to separate the two pieces that interlock. So once you hit that, it'll separate. Once you hit the bolt, it'll separate from this nut and the bottom nut. So as you can see here, I believe these are just kind of pressed into each other. So once you have the bolt through here and then you tap it from the top side, it just kind of unpresses these, you know, stuck, I guess, over years of being stuck together. So I believe what we'll do now is we'll just back out this bolt and the bottom part should be able to come off. And of course the e-brake cable is going to be in the way, so I can't drop that down. I'm going to go ahead, there's just two little clips there that you're going to push down, and you can see there's plenty of slack. The cable will just be able to go in there and we'll slide it out. Alright, once I got those two little retaining clips pushed in, just kind of get the e-brake cable out of the way so this is able to drop down. We should be able to take the bottom piece out. Alright, got the bottom piece out. You can see it's a little rusty there. This is what it looks like. Just drop it out. Then, once we get the others done, we should be able to jack up this part of the body and we'll be able to put the new bushings in. Alright, we're going to move over here to the one behind the B-pillar on the driver's side. This one should be able to explain it a little bit better. I'm learning as I go along, read the instructions, not quite sure. It's a little confusing, but hopefully this video will clarify it for everybody else. You know, everybody learns as they go along, but yeah. Alright, in actuality that probably took me about an hour and a half to figure that out. So anyhow, behind the B pillar here, right behind the driver's seat, it looks like it should be located around here. So we're going to take this plastic cover off and we're probably going to have to remove some of this rubberized flooring here in order to get access to that bolt up top. Okay, hopefully this one will be a little bit easier since I know what I'm doing now. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, well, we're right here behind the driver's seat. Unfortunately, looks like the cap is right here. And the seat bolt's right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove these 4 bolts, and I believe we're just going to lean the seat forward. So let's take out the 2 front bolts and the 2 rear bolts, and we're just going to slide the seat forward and remove that cover, and that'll give us access to that bolt. Right, once we remove the seat bolts here, it should give us a little bit of access. It's still a little bit tight with this rubberized flooring on it, but you can seem to get it out of the way a little bit. We'll just remove that and it should give us access to that bolt. Alright, we're able to see our bolt there. I'm going to go underneath, heat it up with the torch. Hopefully we're able to break it free. A little bit of heat underneath. Able to break it free pretty easy. Alright. Ooh, look at all that blue Loctite on there. Definitely why it's a good reason to heat that up. Just gets it hot, makes it so you're able to break it free. Okay. Have my vice grips sitting on top. Be able to take the bolt I took out of the top. Oh, still a little toasty. I'm gonna thread this into the bottom. The vice grips will stop it from turning. So as soon as you put this hardware in, should be able to tighten it all the way up. Okay, once we got that bolt bottomed out, we're going to head to the top side and we'll grab our punch extension and we will thunk the top of that bolt and it should separate the 2 pieces. Alright, here we are at the top. You can see the top of the bolt right there. So we'll just put our extension on it and we'll give the top of that bolt a thunk and it should separate the 2 pieces. As you can see here, right there, the 2 pieces have separated. Actually not even a hard thunk at all, just hit it with my brass hammer and you should be able to just take this hardware out and the 2 pieces will separate. Alright, let's remove the bolt. This bottom piece should be able to come out. There we go. As you can see right now, the vehicle's not high enough to get this out. So we will have to go here to the back. And like I said before, this bushing right here is good. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'm just going to go in there and loosen the hardware so I'm able to lift the driver's side of the cab up so we get enough clearance to replace the one under the driver floorboard and the one right underneath the B-pillar. And I should go loosen the hardware up on the front by the radiator support as well, so I'm able to jack this side of the cab up. In the event that the very back body bushing is bad, I'm going to pull back the driver rear seat, the little access cover, and under here should give us access to the top of the bolt. Once we pop that cover off, should have access to the bolt right there. Right, now that I got the back bolt all loose, I can go ahead and we can loosen the front one up by the radiator support. The front one right here, it's through bolted. It has a nut on top. It's got a bolt on the bottom, and as you can tell, all this is good. This bushing, there's nothing wrong with it. Right. I'll have a wrench up top, and then I'll have our ratchet or impact on the bottom, and I should be able to loosen this nut up top. Alright, I got the nut up there, not taken off, but pretty close. We can leave this intact, and we're going to be able to jack this side of the cab up and hopefully be able to start replacing our bushings. Okay, we have our jack underneath with our big piece of wood. And if you don't have this big piece of wood, you might need to remove the running boards so you can jack it up by the pinch welds. But this is exactly how I'm going to do it. Put this underneath the floorboard and start lifting it up. As you can see as I'm jacking it up, like the body's lifting on it. We're going to go underneath and see if we got enough room. Should be good enough. Okay. Looks like we're able to get this out. There we go. We are high enough. There. And as you can see, the back one, the bolt is there, but it is not tightened into anything. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab our new bushings and we're going to install them. If you come over here to the instructions, it'll tell you how to reassemble anything just in case you forgot. And then right here it'll tell you on the frame rail exactly where to put the body bushings, and they are labeled. This right here. You see it says B on it, top and bottom. So we'll go ahead and just get the corresponding ones and we'll put A, B, and we're only doing B and C since the A and D are pretty good. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get B here. So we got the top of B. We'll go ahead, insert this guy in here. Just like that. Over here. And should go in like so. Okay, here we go. We have the bottom of B. So we'll go ahead, put that on there like so. Just like that. This will go up here. And what we'll do is we'll go to the top side and we'll get that bolt and we will through bolt it. Okay, I'm going to repeat the process here. We have the top of C. As you can see, it's clearly labeled. Knock some of the old rust off. This will be the top. Just like so. Okay. Just going to assemble it like so. This will be the bottom half. Just like that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to lower the jack down. We'll get those top body mounts, sitting on there pretty flush. Okay, got some Loctite here. Got the bolt. We're going to go ahead and put the bolt back in it. We're just going to snug it up. All right, we got the bolt with Loctite in there. We'll go ahead and we'll do the one behind the B pillar. And we'll go ahead and we'll snug up the back one. All right, we're going to go ahead here with the passenger side. I'm going to go in here, remove some of this kick panel plastic, and pull back the rubberized flooring. Took the cover off, got access to the bolt. We're going to go underneath, we're going to heat it up, and hopefully you'll be able to get the bolt out. All right, here we are underneath. Heat it up. Okay, now that we got it nice and hot, go ahead and put some vice grips on the bottom part. Our up top, we got our ratchet on here. We're going to go ahead and see if we can break that bolt free. Okay, take a rope free pretty easy. Alright, just going to back it out all the way. Okay, with the bolt removed, we're going to go ahead and install it on the bottom side. Okay, here we are underneath. Ooh, bolt's still a little toasty, be careful. Ooh, super hot. Alright, let's just install this. Put all the hardware in. Right, here we are at the top side. You can see the bolt sticking through. We're going to go ahead and put our extension or punch, whatever you have. We're going to go ahead and just give it a nice little thunk. Should separate the two pieces. Alright, we got the one right under the passenger floorboard out. And we're going to move to the passenger B pillar. passenger side, right at the B-pillar, right behind the passenger seat. We're about right here. So we're going to go ahead, take these caps off, remove the 4 bolts for the seat. We're just going to lean the seat forward, and we're going to take some of this plastic off right here. Just pull back the rubberized flooring to get to the plug for the body mount. Okay, we got the plug removed, and we have access to the top of the bolt. We'll go underneath and we'll heat it up, and then we'll come up top and loosen the bolt. All right, let's heat it up. Heat it up. You might experience a little bit of fire under here, but that's all good. Just watch out for brake lines and gas lines. You'll be all right. It's just perfectly normal body mount stuff. So, all right, here we are up top. Let's see if we can get this first time. Let's see if I can get this with one hand. No way. Nice. Nice. Heat definitely helps out. Gotta must have the heat. Okay, got the bolt from up top. We're gonna go ahead and install it in the bottom. Alright, we got the hardware installed on the bottom. Go ahead, put your extension or punch down there, and just thunk on top of that bolt. Alright. Came out nice. Okay, let's get to the back one here. Jack out of the way. Alright, there it is. All you got to do is remove that plug and the bolt will be in there. Alright, here we are underneath the back of the cab. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to heat that up, and then we're going to remove the bolt. Yeah, you just heat it up good enough. Should just come loose like that. We're going to take this bolt all the way out. Right, which brings us up here to the front one. We're just going to have one more to remove, and we're just going to loosen the nut on the top, almost all the way to the top, so this will allow the body to come up. Okay, we went ahead and loosened the nut up top. We're going to come over here, we're going to jack it up underneath the body. Okay, we got the front jacked up pretty good, and we have this pretty good. We'll just be able to take all the stuff out and put the new bushings in. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the B and C bushings here. Put the new bushings on the top piece. Alright, got the bottom piece here. Alright, goes just like that. Okay, we got the one here with the B-pillar. Alright, this bottom one. Alright, there we go. Okay, now that we got some Loctite on the bolts here, we're going to go inside and we're going to install them through the cab. Right, once we get them all started and snugged up, we're going to go around and tighten them on the truck. Once we get all the bolts tightened, we'll be able to go in here and put all the plugs back in. That was what is left of the body mount bushings. Alright guys, we got the polyurethane body mount bushings replaced. The front and the backs, they were good. I ended up replacing the B and the C, which were the middle two. They were completely non-existent, dry rot, typical, sport track problems. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to know where to buy these body bushings, there will be a link in the description. Alright guys, appreciate you. Monday at 6.